Hi guys. Um, I wanted to lay down. Yeah. Welcome back to another video. Let's get right into it. I want to load up my screen real quick. I was finally able to get Google Chrome to load. Oh, why does it always do that? Every time I look up Corey, it pulls up the other guy. I'm not the other guy. I'm the guy. Oh, I forgot the double A. Make sure y'all do the double A. Oh, pull up someone that's not me. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to be the regular Corey the Man, but the name was also the other guy. I'm not the other. Okay, shut up, Corey. We don't care. Corey, stay talking. I'm gonna have my chat on in case y'all say something. My phone. I don't know. It's probably around here somewhere. Oh, it's right here. Okay. So we get this other video opened up as well, and then we can get right into it. Okay, let's get right into the video. Here we go. We got new Spider-Man PS5 updates and news. I'll take anything I can get for a new update, whether it's regarding Survivor Series, whether it's regarding. I actually want to get the Peacock. I'm actually gonna give me a subscription.
A couple years ago, I ended up in a motorcycle accident. I didn't have health insurance at the time, and now I have a plan that keeps me covered for $9 a month.
All plans cover
why do I
doctor
care about
visits,
any of this?
prescriptions, emergency.
The month of December is almost here, so Spider-Man 2's update should not be too far off either. But what should we expect from it? Well, Insomniac and Sony's past releases are a pretty good indicator that we will analyze in this video. However, we also got a lot more news to talk about, including a massive art blast that might hint towards possible future releases and other features. But first, a quick look at the sponsor of this video, Nexus War. Combining epic strategy and amazing role-playing mechanics, Nexus War lets you join the ranks of 4 distinct races,
let me just try
each
to
with their
watch
own
WWE.
architectural styles,
I need
bonuses, and legendary units to control, such as the incredibly powerful Zephyr that players can claim for absolutely free simply by logging in for 7 days.
Ted
You can
series
further
is coming out
expand your
soon. That
roster
looks
with
like
even
that's
more
gonna be
powerful
good.
heroes, including my favorite, Ano the Whirlwind Enforcer. Enhance their powers in an immersive RPG system, explore the galaxy, or conquer your enemies in epic 30 vs 30 PvP battles, such as the Siege of Ions. But right now, you can embark on an epic Thanksgiving event for a limited
they just let you
time
watch this
Culinary
stuff for
Symphony
free.
and Alliance Feast
I'm trying to
that
get a
offers some
subscription. They
incredible
keep trying to
rewards
say you
and the
can
chance
watch
to
for
win
free.
yourself a legendary beacon. Nexus War puts you in control of your very own galactic fortress, letting you build complex mega structures to gain powerful bonuses and form alliances with millions of other players all across the galaxy. So definitely check out Nexus War using my links below and make sure to use the codes displayed on the screen right now to get some amazing rewards worth
Most
over
of this stuff is
$100.
streaming only on
Big thanks
Peacock,
again to
and
the
I can
Nexus
just
War
watch
team,
it
and now
free.
back to our video. But the in-game
Now
plus
y'all
mode is still
let's
on
try
track
to.
for an end
Oh
of
yeah,
the year update.
finally
We know this from the community
we
director
clicked
that
that Mario
Insomniac
movie.
Games was already working on it before launch, only that it wouldn't make it on day one. And in a later on tweet, he confirmed it should drop before the end of the year. So around middle of December should be a safe bet at this point, give or take a week or so, which would follow the same path Spider-Man did back in 2018. The game launched around September back then, and New Game Plus update dropped around a month and a half later. However, with the Miles Morales release in 2020, Insomniac added a bit more to the New Game Plus than simply replayability of the main story with all of your existing upgrades.
Wait, what y'all talking about? Oh, I think my stuff. I forgot to unlock it.
Added a new suit and a lot of new suit
Let me go
mobs,
back and
extra
unlock my
skills, and
card.
even gadget upgrades that
Unlock
were
it so the
exclusive to the New
subscriptions
Game
can
Plus
charge me.
mode. It was also around this time that other Sony exclusives like Ghost of Tsushima and God of War would also get their own New Game Plus modes with extra abilities and attires on top. So that sounds really exciting because I definitely think Insomniac needs to do more in the New Game Plus mode this time around to reel more people back in. And I think it should also be the perfect opportunity to bring back some of the missing suits from the previous games, though completely new ones wouldn't hurt either. Like, I can't be the only one who bought the deluxe edition for those 10 additional suits only to never use them, or if I did, it was very short-lived. And speaking of those,
Yeah,
recently
they
Insomniac
gave
had
me
a
like
massive
5
art
suits and I
blast
only
of
used them like
scenes,
once.
concepts, old suits,
I
and
used
other
the
things
same
that they
3
were doing
suits.
behind the scenes ahead of the game's launch. Again, looking at some of these interesting designs, it was such a missed opportunity not to make some tie-ins with the second Spider-Verse movie, especially since they should have had plenty of time for that too. Especially now that it came to light that it did happen the other way around, and there were quite a few Easter eggs, let's just call them, in the movie referencing the Spider-Man 2 gameplay. So maybe Insomniac could add some of those in the future, maybe even with this New Game Plus update. But even better, and I really like this one, is that it seems Insomniac has given Venom a lot more thought than we initially anticipated, and I suspect they at least conceptualized a Venom game or more Venom gameplay before getting the overwhelmingly positive fan feedback. So some of the concept art depicts Venom with a lot of cool and interesting abilities, way more so than the ones present in the game, especially this panel right here by Daryl Mandrake. So in this
Feels good to be home.
I've talked about them a million times, and I'll talk about them a million more because they are the best browser available, period. Full stop. They have endless customization so you can really personalize it and make it your own, and the GX mods are extraordinarily fun to play around with and offer a lot of really valuable features. You can do some silly stuff like changing your typing sounds when you're online in the browser to pretty much whatever you want it to be. And then it also has very handy features like the quick import tool where you can take all of whatever browser you're currently using's features and translate them over to Opera GX seamlessly, easily, no headache. It also gives you the ability to access all of your messaging apps in browser, so if you're on Facebook Messenger or anything like that and you get a message, it can just appear in the sidebar of the GX browser. It also works for things like Twitch as well if you log in on Twitch.
This one we can see Venom featuring like giant claw attacks, double tentacle hammer fists, a pretty funny giant bite too where his mouth just extends a lot more than the usual, enough to probably just swallow an entire vehicle of sorts. Pretty funny, there's also a skinny form which according to its description would better fit stealth kind of gameplay, so he could fit through gaps or just go in a little bit more unnoticed. Gameplay wise, that would definitely sound very interesting, maybe some kind of different new dynamic to Venom's abilities that we haven't seen before. I definitely love these types of concepts because it just shows you a what if scenario. Maybe early on when the ability of the symbiote to stabilize with its host hasn't yet fully been achieved. Also interesting is that there's a giant Venom model too, which uses two cars as fists to smash things. That kind of reminds me a bit of the old Hulk games. Everything else is somewhat recognizable. We have the tentacle ball, which ended up being one of Spider Symbiote's ability for Peter, and we also have the ranged tentacle slam, again one of his abilities. But all in all, there are a lot of cool concepts here that I'm really grateful for, and I really wish we're gonna get to see them in a separate Venom game at some point. At least I think right now we're definitely overdue for a full-on Venom game. Now, since Spider-Man 2 has been out for quite a while now, yeah, we had enough time to think and speculate about Insomniac's next moves. Clearly, with the Green Goblin saga being built for the third game and the next game being about Wolverine before that, also in the same universe, we do get some very interesting new leaks. Of course, nothing confirmed yet, so take these with a huge grain of salt, but according to them, the Wolverine game is at least partially set in the fictional Southeast Asian city of Madripoor. Now, some of the most well-known Wolverine comic stories were actually set here, so it does kind of...
Here's one thing you need to do before buying anything online. Don't spend another dime on Amazon until you watch this first. What?
I swear.
Kind of makes sense to at least see some part of that game over there. Now, on the release schedule, some artists working on the Wolverine game accidentally leaked the release date, which initially they were indicating to be 2024. However, that might have been inaccurate or at the very least out of date. Plus, the ArtStation profile of said artist has since been taken down. On top of that, some of these leaks also suggest a more probable release date being 2025 instead, since that would probably give, well, Insomniac Games a bit more time to just work on it. I just don't see them releasing two games back to back one year after another, but again, if it does happen, I would very much love to see that. though I'm not keeping hopes high for that. However, we should probably see some gameplay of Wolverine in 2024, which I'm super excited for. Mostly because Insomniac would still be supposedly focused on Spider-Man 2 for a bit longer. We have this update, but also some DLCs and quite a few story build-ups. On a final note, current enemy types and mission sections caused a lot of speculation to how it could be if Insomniac decides to add back a very interesting villain arc. So GameRant makes a very interesting case for Alistair Smythe given how Kraven used Spider Slayer robots all throughout this game. Maybe Insomniac could borrow a bit from the Amazing Spider-Man in the future, where yeah, these drones were actually created by Smythe, and then also have the Spider Slayer robots as enemies featured in future DLCs or the sequel. Not only is there an infinite amount that can be manufactured from a logistic standpoint, rather than the infinite number of goons mentions GameRant, but they can also be obliterated carelessly since they are not actual human enemies. And I also think that robots, especially in this game, have some very interesting mechanics, especially the ones disrupting our abilities. So maybe Insomniac could build upon that and create some other interesting synergies.
I hate how they got that power to
bigger enemies rather than just small humans. Again, having Smythe as a villain arc would probably also bring back a lot of nostalgia for those like me who grew up with Spider-Man animated.
Oh, he's not even Venom yet.
And speaking of interesting concepts, Screen Rant, another gaming news outlet, makes an interesting point for the possible chameleon plot teased at the end of the Flying Drone side missions. So it's possible that since so many bigger plot lines are already being established, if the Chameleon one were to return, it could be relegated to some form of side missions involving Mary Jane, given how much of course Insomniac wants to build her up more and more into some kind of side hero. Since this kind of narrative would involve a lot of spy stuff and detective work, MJ could be a great fit here. She could use her investigative journalism skills outside of the main story. And again, Screen Rant is making a case, giving the example with the old Tombstone missions back from 2018. So yeah, that definitely sounds interesting.
I didn't even know you could do
hiring the Chameleon as a skill
I was a real life going up to them and just knocking them out.
Given how he is actively seeking to find
most of the time they will see me, I just
secret identities.
boom, boom,
so yeah, she could definitely fit that role, maybe with some updated mechanics. Clearly a third-person shooter sort of style works best for MJ.
It'd be nice if they gave her a
Insomniac could just make her a little bit more balanced and
they ain't gotta make her like no
the gameplay around her a bit more, since
but
they
make her
do
give
want
her
to give her the spotlight more and more. And this could eventually even tie in with other future releases, maybe the sequel or maybe other DLCs. I'm not sure, but I would totally love to know your opinion down in the comments. In the meantime, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Be kind of crazy, because they would try to make comparisons. And it's like, that's not her. But thank you.